Friends are like old memories. They always remind you of your past, and we are reminding ourselves of the past episodes from this week of Good Company for the best of Good Company with me, Hollie Taylor. I'm Hollie Taylor, and time for a feel-good story. We're talking about a 13-year-old boy, and you might be thinking, well, what is this young man doing? Something pretty incredible. At school, often we think about reduce, reuse, recycle, but he's taking a different approach. He's collecting, recycling, and donating. That's right. Young Ryan came up with the idea of a way to make money for food banks while also caring for the environment. So he started to contact businesses and get any spare cans that they had. And first it started with just a couple, and he could handle it in his home. But now there are so many pop cans and bottles all coming his way. So he collects them and then he donates them. He's been donating them to a local women's charity and has been able to donate quite a few dollars, starting with just $7,300. That has grown over the past 3 years since he started back in 2023. It is estimated that he has recycled 1.5 million cans in 3 years, which has raised somewhere around $20,000, and every single cent he's given to charities. So, young man, big heart, loving this, doing something both for the environment and for other people. Right now, I'm going to take a look at your commute. I'm Hollie Taylor, and I think I have an idea for my husband for a gift to get me for Christmas. I know it's a little early, but my birthday was just last week, so I don't think I can ask for another present. It was essentially like a scepter, like a star on a stick. You unscrew it, you pop in your debit card, you screw it all back together, and it just looks like a royal scepter. And so when you go to pay, instead of tapping your card, you use your royal scepter in order to pay. It looks very regal, very like I love Disney kind of vibes. And I think it would be absolutely hilarious. Can you imagine? You're going through the drive-thru and you know how they have that stick that they will often put the debit machine on? Well, now you can just tap it with your royal scepter. Now, I don't know where to find this, but I feel like I need one. Random things, right? Sometimes you need a little random in your life to keep life feeling exciting, or even making those days a little longer, adding something new into the mix. So maybe that's something that you could do. I don't think it's going to be a bestseller, though, but always looking for your creative ideas as to how do we navigate life together. We're talking old school hobbies, and what are some that you think we should bring back? Hollie Taylor here, and yes, the new kids bringing back some old hobbies. I have in my house 2 young ones, and one of them is a big fan of needlepoint. The other is a big fan of knitting. And the irony is, I don't know how to knit, and yet my daughter is starting to knit all kinds of things. So they're turning to these hobbies and activities as a way of escaping technology, and it's allowing them to be a little bit more creative on their own terms. Actually, my daughter was a part of an art exhibit this past weekend. Her school put together an art piece, and they added it into this community-wide display of art, taking a look at how we share our stories. And it was cool to walk through that. She picked out which one was hers, and seeing it in the context of an art installment, it was really cool to have her a part of that. And I think it ignites a different kind of creative juices. Text message here, 905-338-1250. This is from Emma. She says that her niece is actually a huge fan of doing cross-stitching, and they'll sit there and they'll cross-stitch together and have great combos. So that's pretty incredible, just seeing kids being able to pick up some, I would say, oldie but goodie kind of creative skills. They're learning from YouTube, they're learning from grandparents, nieces, nephews, parents, and they're putting it to work. This one's also pretty interesting. Luke says that his son has taken up woodwork. It's been a pastime for him, and they've actually recently been able to put together a table, and they've been really having a great time connecting through this art form. And it is. Some pieces of woodwork are incredible. So I love this. What's old is new again. It's Hollie Taylor, an incredible feel-good story for you. You know how we were just talking recently about following your talents, and with your talents come passion, and you get to do some incredible things. Because sometimes you have a dream, but your talents don't align. But this is a story of Nate. He's 19 years old, and he used to work at a supermarket. Sounds like a regular job for a 19-year-old until he discovered a side hustle where he dressed up and acted as Spider-Man. He was talented at this. He was passionate about being able to encourage people. And now he actually makes more doing this, as in dressing up as Spider-Man, than he did in his supermarket job. So he does this at theaters. He does it for birthday parties. He is a freelance gig superhero impersonator and, invested in a really high quality suit. And since then, business has taken off. And I love that he's just so passionate about doing this, surprising people, bringing a smile to others' faces, and he's making good money. So there you go. Fun times, hey? Being able to be an impersonator, have some fun, and make good money too. It's Hollie Taylor. We're talking about some of those sounds that we just don't hear anymore. Text it in 905-338-1250 or give me a call. Use that same number. In this one, I got a message from Steph, and I can absolutely hear this noise now because of the art exhibit that my daughter was a part of. They had a whole section where you could write stories, and it wasn't about writing on a pen and paper. It was about writing it on a typewriter. And so that's exactly what she said. Growing up, we used a typewriter. I can still hear the clickety-clack of the keys and the ding when it got to the end of the line. And yes, that sound is so fresh in my brain because this past weekend. Okay, what other sounds have you not heard for a while? The sound of static on TV. All the little sounds. I know what you're talking about. That's a text message from Paul. What else do we have here? Rotary phones. Got that one. Cash registers. Yes, the manual ones. That's from Sarah. I remember those. I absolutely do. This is good. She says, I am a teacher. I taught in the 70s and 80s. My name is Mary. The sound of chalk on a chalkboard. My grandkids have their own little chalkboard, but I know that's not a sound that they're hearing in schools. And absolutely, something our kids are definitely missing out on. I just remember hearing like the fast writing of my teacher on the chalkboard, and I knew I was falling behind on taking notes. Hollie Taylor here for Good Company, and we're talking about sounds that we no longer hear. Well, how about we take a look at some of the things that we no longer use on the form of electrical or battery-operated devices. If you've got some battery-operated devices you haven't used for a while, this is your PSA. Make sure you check them out because these batteries often swell, they could explode, and could lead to a fire in your home. Another hidden source of money being sucked out of your pocket very quietly, or hidden ways of there being any kind of fires. And this time on the electrical side is just that. All the things we got plugged into the walls, they keep that pathway open. So if there's ever some kind of lightning striking, leaves you vulnerable when they are connected, but also they're a power drain. A hidden one that we don't necessarily assume because you turn the lights off and you think we're good to go. That lamp that's plugged into that outlet, it's not going to do anything. The light's not on, but it is slowly sucking power from the grid. So if there are any kind of appliances or electrical cords attached to items you're not using all the time, a thought, unplug them. Might save you a few pennies here and there. And in this day and age, hey, penny saved is a penny earned. Well, that's a wrap. Those are our favorite memories from this past week. Join me for more Good Company live every weekday from 4:30 till 6 p.m. here on Joy Radio. Oh, and don't forget, you can also catch up by subscribing to our Joy Radio podcast. If you'd like to join in on the conversation, text 905-338-1250. Thanks for listening. We'll see you on Monday.